Aloha, friends and family. Let's start today with prayer. Something we never do, but let's understand the prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy nameless. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. All right, let's understand what we just prayed. Our Father, cosmic mind, which art in heaven. Where's heaven? It's on earth. So the cosmic mind on the earth. Hallowed be thy nameless, because the cosmic source is nameless. So maybe they changed that part. I'm sure they changed that part, because the whole con here was to get humans believing in the external, and that God was external from them. So he must have a name. Thy kingdom come. Where is the kingdom? It's within you. So thy kingdom come forth from within you. On earth as it is in heaven. There was a time when earth was heaven. And it's returning to that former state of heavenliness right now. And for many of us, we're already there. We're not waiting for this to happen. We are manifesting it. So it happens whenever you want it to happen. Give us this day our daily bread. Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. So every word you're speaking is what you're living on. Yesterday's words are today's reality. And forgive us. I haven't recited this prayer in a long time because I don't pray like this. But forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those that trespass against us. So that's just reminding us to stay in a perpetual state of forgiveness for the trespasses that men in hypnosis are constantly doing. I'm sure there's probably a little bit more to it, but I think we get the idea. And the idea is agreeing with the cosmic law, agreeing with that great principle of cosmic love. And I feel like we need to talk more about Christianity because had the potential to set forth this great truth, but it failed miserably because it got distorted, or it probably started out distorted, and then it just perpetuated the distortion, and it caused the egoic man, the man that separated himself from God, it caused him to find a comfort zone in the distortion. And that comfort zone in that distortion is, all I have to do is have this one particular belief, wait until I die, and then everything's wonderful. But see, they must be pretty spiritually lazy. That ego must be pretty lazy, because it did not plumb the depths. It did not come to understand how reality itself works, and that everything that you say that you believe needs to also line up with how everything works. And so it became a false humility to think and believe, no, I'm not God. I'm not God. God is so much bigger and better and powerful and all these things that I'm not. So therefore, how could I possibly think that I'm God? But I assure you, before Abraham was, I am. And who is I am? I am is God. And who is I am? I am is every single human that can say and know and understand I am. So the false humility and the subsequent idolatry that comes with that ego has to be put down, has to be laid to rest, or you're never, ever going to understand what Jesus was saying, because that's their God, that's their idol. And they think by riding the hem of that garment that they're going to ride on into heaven. And it does not work like that. And you should know that by now, because I guarantee you most hardcore Christians that are just, I'm telling you, in the ego, Christianity became, well, all of them, all the religions became super centers for the ego to find a comfort zone apart from God. And they, in their misery, they may not realize they're miserable, but they, in their misery, they love company. And so anyone that was like Jesus that came along today, see, if the man himself, Jesus, came along today, they would all flock to him and then fall down at his feet, ready to worship him and again make him their idol, make him their God, and be totally fine with that. But if someone else came along that had the power, the authority, the understanding to know that I am, they would immediately judge that person and say, that person's the devil. That person is of Satan. Because they can't say that they're God. But see, that's exactly the very same thing that the Pharisees pulled on Jesus. And then murdered him. So these people really have murder in their heart. And give them the right circumstances, they'll manifest that. But they want you to think and believe they're humble, pious, followers of God. And we got it all figured out. And you don't have much figured out at all. All you figured out is that you find the idol that you think is God, follow that idol blindly, and magically everything is just going to be all right when you die. But see, you weren't even supposed to die. You believing for your own death. You're manifesting your own death. Again, today's reality is yesterday's thoughts. Well, I just don't believe that. I know Christians out there that absolutely refuse to believe that we create our own realities. Let's examine that. All right? So you have a life of constant struggle, constant strife. You're sick every other month. You got ailments popping up all the time. And you're certainly not living in heaven on earth. You're certainly not manifesting heaven on earth. And you want me to believe that your God deity, be it Jesus or Jehovah or Allah or whoever, is running everything and controlling everything. Well, that would include your life. And so all that bullshit in your life then is not your problem, not your doing, has nothing to do with you, because God's running everything. God's doing everything. You don't make any sense. You are in confusion. And then standing strong and stubborn in that ego, going to sit there and just flatly refuse. No, we don't create our reality. You telling me yesterday's thoughts are not today's reality? You can't see how that works? I think a child could understand how that works. But see, that doesn't mesh with your false belief. Your false belief is that no, God, some external deity God is doing everything. And they're waiting for the day that God picks up that rod of iron and starts smashing everything that it doesn't like, everything that it's angry about, everything that's not in its will. No, you're supposed to do that yourself, within yourself. Pick up that rod of iron and start smashing everything within your thinking, within your belief system that's out of the will of I am. And you are. Like, what are you holding on to with that ego? You are so rooted in that ego that you will refuse to listen to your very own idol, your very own projected God in Jesus, saying that I am. And he's not meaning me, the personality, me, the man standing here. He's saying it's the cosmic spirit, the great spirit that is in all the universe, has revealed this to me and will reveal it to you and has revealed it to many others. That I and the Father are one. See, he didn't say I and the Father have become one, because we were two. There was me and then there was the Father. We were separated. We were separate. And we became one. No, I and the Father are one. All you have to do is recognize that. And when you recognize that, transformation will happen within your entire being. And it will illuminate your mind. And you will instantly see how you have been living in the egoic mind. You will instantly see how you are in idolatry. You will instantly understand how you are in an illusion. And like I said on other videos, you can walk right out of that illusion. And you can manifest this cosmic I am that is offered, not even offered, it just is. Again, this is just recognizing something that already is. You don't have to become it. You are it, but you do not recognize it. And God's people that have come and gone from this earth for thousands of years, that know this, that came to understand this, that spent 40 days and 40 nights in the desert to discover this, and were unwilling to eat or do anything else until they knew this, because this is more precious than gold, more precious than food, more precious than life itself, because without this, you do not have life itself, and you certainly don't have eternal life itself. Or I should say, you don't know it. You have it. You have it. And you can keep doing the reincarnation cycle in the lower world, in that hell on earth, and avoiding the heaven on earth that you are meant to manifest, that you are meant to bring about, that you are meant to come into agreement with. But no, some prefer the ego, some prefer the idol, some prefer to try to ride on the coattails of Jesus's garment. Because again, they will not take the responsibility. And I guess it's just too damn difficult and too crushing of a blow to acknowledge and admit you've been wrong your entire life. And you must have been wrong many lifetimes before that, because you've degraded, you've devolved, you've fallen lower in consciousness. You haven't gained. If you had gained, then you would be moving upward. You would be ascending. Your consciousness would be ascending. And this is not me being mean. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm trying to give you the hardcore truth. But again, look what they said about Jesus. He wasn't trying to be mean, but he was trying to get the real absolute truth across to people that had become so comfortable in that ego, so comfortable in that idolatry. They were so comfortable to take God's creations into their spit-polished temple and cut their throats and bleed them out on their altar to appease this wonderful God of love that they are in idolatry with. And not ever once stop to realize this cannot be right. This is just blatantly not right. But that's what we believe. That's what we've been taught. That's what all the smart Pharisees say. It's written in our books. No, it's written on your heart. That's where Jesus said it was written. It's written on your heart. But you have no way of knowing how to read your heart because you're so out of touch with it. You've replaced your heart with that ego. And it's not egoic to come to the knowledge that you are God. It's egoic to stand there and continue to refuse to accept that responsibility, because with that knowledge comes great responsibility. But you don't want that. You don't want that. You're comfortable in the lower world. You're actually comfortable in hell. You actually prefer hell. But with your lips you will say, I want heaven. And I can't wait till I die because I know I'm going there. You are confused. You are so confused. And this is the time of the awakening. Everybody's coming to understand all of this. People that have been steeped in this crap for multiple lifetimes, maybe hundreds. Are waking up to this, waking up to how the big dupe has gone on, realizing exactly why they're disempowered, realizing exactly why they, whoever they are in your illusion, have control and power over you. And they make you do all this kind of shit that you don't even want to do, and you resent them for it. They make us pay them taxes, and then they turn around and do evil with the money, and you resent them for that. But you live in their world. You live in their illusion, and you are comfortable there, even though you will bitch and moan about it. And Jesus and many others like him have come along to tell you, remind you, shake you. You can get out of it. You can walk right out of it. It's all in the mind. It's all in your thinking. You have been and will always continue to create your reality. And yesterday's thoughts are today's reality. And if you think shrugging your shoulders and saying, well, I just don't believe that makes that not so, you're blind. All right? And Jesus said it too. Having eyes they do not see, having ears they do not hear. Was he being mean? Was he being unfair and judgmental? No. He's telling you the straightforward, absolute, stone cold, rubber to the road truth. But you don't even get it. Yet he's your idol. He's your God. You don't even get your God. You don't even understand. You don't even understand. You probably understand because under, below. Understand. It's to place yourself below. Understand. Become one with that which is. What is? How do I do this? I am. That's it. I am. Well, I don't understand that. Meditate on it. Spend 40 days in the desert of your mind. Spend 40 days in that desert that is your heart. Your heart shouldn't be a desert. Heart should be green and radiating life and prana and power and energy. But it became a desert. And we are here to remind you that that desert will blossom as the rose. And it's not talking about some idolatrous country in the Middle East that has perpetuated absolute deception and has made idolatry this pious, fake, phony belief system for the egoic mind to entertain again until it dies and goes to heaven. So when you say I am and anything, you're saying God is. So I am love. I am unity. I am light. I agree. I'm in agreement. I'm not in idolatry. I'm not in separation. I'm not in illusion. Because I am. And so are you. Whether you believe it or not. And we leave you once again, my friends and family, in the infinite love and light of the infinite Creator. I am.